Good morning, everybody. J.R. Fisher here. It is Wednesday. What is the 5th? Today's Cinco de Mayo. Pretty cool. And it's fitting that I would be going to a Mexican restaurant with a good friend today. So welcome. If you're new here, I do these live training sessions Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. to help you out, to help you start, run, and grow online businesses. I'll generally have a subject I'll talk about. However, if you have any questions whatsoever about starting, running, and growing an online business, you can put them in that chat section. What's going on, James? He says loud and clear. James always helps me out. He's like my assistant, I think, now. Weather is 81 there. It's going to be 80 here today, James. I now check in advance, so I'm prepared. We're going to be 80 now. I think we're 61 degrees right now. Yes, I'm checking that out. 61, going to be 80. You can see what's going on here. And see, I was checking off to the side, James. I wasn't messing around. And today we're going to talk about, 7 things you can do to be really successful in life in general. So you can apply this to your business. A lot of these things are going to be life lessons, but they're also going to be business lessons. And if you haven't subscribed, I did forget to tell you to do that. Do me a favor and subscribe. I'm really super close. I thought I was like 6 subscribers away yesterday. But I was actually 106 away. So today I'm like 101 or 102 away from hitting that 5,000 number, which is a big benchmark for a channel. I mean, the number of channels that ever hit 5,000 are very, very few. And I owe it to you guys for, subscribing to this channel, for listening, for showing up. I mean, if it's not for you, I would have nothing. And I know that, so I'm very humbled by that. I appreciate that you guys take time out to actually listen to my videos, to comment, to offer suggestions. Man, I really appreciate it, guys. I really do. You guys are awesome. I do remember to like this video too. You got to hit that like button. That like button really helps the distribution of videos. I'm not quite sure how they do that, but it really does. Don't forget also, once you subscribe, ring the bell, turn on all bell notifications so you're notified each and every time I go live. And I am going to jump right in today. I got to go pick up Luigi, my buddy, and we're going to go to lunch today at the best Mexican restaurant I've ever eaten at in my entire life. It's been there since 1935. Holy heck, 1935. The granddaughter is the one who runs the cash register, and she's an old lady now. So it's kind of interesting. And I've been eating there, gosh, let me think, 34 years. I left California and lived on the East Coast for a period of time. But yeah, I've been off and on eating on that restaurant for 34 years. That's crazy that I would be doing that. I never thought I would live this long. Never did. But you know what? I feel darn good. I feel great. And you know what? It all worked out. I took care of myself. All right, so let's get into these things. What are these things we can do? The first thing you can do, and this first thing I'm going to tell you can do, you have to do to make anything else work. You have to. And that is live with real integrity. Live in such a way that you'd make your family proud. Your kids, your mom, your dad, whatever. Even if people knew your worst moments, they could see how you reacted to those bad moments. So you do want to live with integrity. Now, nobody is perfect. You're going to make mistakes. And I think a lot of people beat themselves up because they've done things in their past. And I know I certainly have too. But I try to live with more integrity now than I ever have in my life. We're all going to fall down. We're all going to have problems. I just got off a text with a friend of mine who's gone through some tough stuff and he's rebuilding. And we all do. And we all do. That happens. You look around, you see these people with perfect lives. I promise you they're not perfect. They're not. But you can live with integrity. You should always try to do the right thing. Always try to do your best to live with integrity. And we know what that is. Here's what integrity is, if you ever want to judge it. It's doing the right thing when nobody sees what you're doing. Doing the right thing when nobody sees what you're doing. If you do that on a daily basis, okay? If you're kind to people on a daily basis when nobody knows that you were kind, if you're honest about money and you get too much change at the grocery store and you give it back, those things matter more than you can imagine. Not only does it matter because you're doing the right thing, but how it makes you feel inside about yourself. If you know that you have high integrity inside, you're going to walk around just feeling better about yourself. You're going to be a happier person. When you go around and you rip people off and you take advantage of people and all that, it makes you kind of rot inside. It doesn't make you good. Number 2, Number 2 is a big one too, and that's grow your knowledge every single day. Grow your knowledge every single day. Now, we all are works in progress. I know a lot more now than I knew, 40 years ago, 50 years ago. But then again, I also know a lot more now than I knew a week ago. And hopefully each day I'm going to add to that knowledge and learn a little bit more. Once again, nobody's perfect, but the important thing is you got to keep learning. You got to keep growing. You got to keep evolving every single day. If somebody said to me, well, you're nothing like the person you used to be 10 years ago, I would take that as a compliment, because I shouldn't be. I shouldn't be the same person I was 10 years ago. I should be better. I should have improved. I should be doing stuff differently than I was. If you grow just 1% a day, your value will double after only 70 days. Think about that. If you grow 1% a day, 1% a day in 70 days, your value will double. That's pretty amazing. Of course, it is impossible to know if you're really growing yourself 1% a day or 0.1% or 5% or whatever. But the point is you should simply just strive to do more, to learn more every single day. That way you will evolve. If you're not learning, you won't evolve. This is the way it is. It is a life philosophy to do this, guys. It is something that you really need to think about and concentrate on. Do your best to learn from your experiences. Okay, what have you picked up from your experiences? What have you picked up from books that you've read? What have you picked up from lectures, videos you've watched online, conferences, history, anything? What have you learned? I hope you've learned something. Every day is really an opportunity to become a better, dad, mom, father, son, whatever you want to call it, brother, doctor, whatever you are every single day. It's an opportunity to become better at that. Let me grab a little sip here. And guys, just because I'm on this tangent about doing well in life and being successful doesn't mean you can't ask a question about anything you want. I'll be glancing down at those comments in the chat section. If you're not watching this live, you are welcome to put stuff in the comments section below the video. I do come back around and I answer a lot of those. Okay, number three, surround yourself with greatness and you'll become great. Surround yourself with greatness and you'll become great. Now, the saying is, are simply the average of the 5 people whom we spend the most time with. Okay, so if you surround yourself with people who are really achieving stuff, people who are really growing, people who are really pushing themselves, then you're going to be the same thing. If you surround yourself with people who are haters and complainers and doubters, you'll become that too. Okay, so in every facet of your life, you got to surround yourself with the best people, and that means cutting some people out. If some of your friends have not come along with you in this journey, and they're living in the past and they're not trying hard and they complain a lot and they're lazy, you got to cut them off. You got to cut them off. That's the way it is. Some people will say, well, man, you got famous and you're not hanging out with the people you used to. Not that I'm famous, I'm just saying, using that as an example. No, I don't, because some of those people weren't good for me in my life, and I liked them and they were nice people, but they didn't enhance my life. And I think that's what you need to do. Champions are made by having great people around them. The same goes with every job. No one succeeds alone. You do need other people. So, if you're thinking, well, I'm just going to go it on my own and I don't need anybody, that's not true. You can't do that. People weren't built that way. We've seen that from last year. A lot of people really had a hard time being alone because they're not built to be alone. They're built to engage with other people. James says, I've learned to be kind to everyone. Yeah, and that's a hard thing to do too, James, isn't it? I mean, sometimes people are mean, or they cut you off in traffic, or they're rude, or they don't speak to you, or whatever reason. It's hard to be kind to somebody when they're not kind to you. But the way I justify that, and I'm not 100% on any of these things, guys. I'm just telling you the rules I try to go by. But the way I justify that is I don't know what they're going through. That cashier that was really rude to me and didn't even say hello. Maybe she's getting evicted from her apartment. Maybe her husband has cancer. Maybe one of her kids, she lost a kid, or they're sick or something. Maybe their job's on the line. You don't know what somebody went through. Especially when somebody cuts you off in traffic. Who knows what's going through their head at that time? Are they really angry about something? Are they really upset about something? There's an African proverb that I love. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So what do you want to do? And being nice to other people, man, that's like a huge start. And the thing is, when you're nice to other people and they're rude to you, they will change. I'm telling you, they're going to be like, why is that person nice to me? I wasn't nice to them. And it may change their day, and that may affect how they interact with the next person. So you have this ripple effect, and I'm glad that James brought that up. You have this ripple effect of how you affect other people. Number 4, this is a hard one, but hang in there with me. Embrace failure. Embrace failure. Failure are simply stepping stones to your path to greatness. That's all it is. If you're having a bunch of failures, that means you're trying a lot of things. That's a good thing. If you're not having any failures at all, that means you're not really challenging yourself at all. You're really not. I've failed so many times in many areas of my life. However, my failures in life have laid the groundwork for my biggest successes in life too. All those little failures I did, all those little things I tried that didn't work out, they've helped me get to where I am now. James says, everyone is doing the very best they can, so let's not judge. Yeah, I think they are with what they got going on. Maybe they could do better in some cases, but give them a break. Give other people a break. And you know what? When you give other people a break, they may give you a break, because you're going to have a bad day too. These bad things are going to happen to you just like everybody else. Some of my other notes I had here. I've really never met a successful person from any field that hasn't had failures. Never, ever met one. In fact, I think the people I've met that are the most successful people in the world have grandiose stories of failure before they achieve success. I mean, you take the richest guy in the world now, which is Elon Musk, and that varies between him and Jeff Bezos. But he'll tell you, he went bankrupt, or almost went bankrupt several times. He had rockets explode. He had all kinds of bad things. He's had people in the press write horrible things about him, telling him he'll never be able to start a car company. You can't do this, you can't do that. And he just doesn't care. He keeps going forward. He smiles. I saw a video of him yesterday. He was coming out of a building, and he got swarmed by these people who wanted autographs. And he stood there and he autographed every single one of those things before he got in his car. And he joked around with them. They were all asking him about Saturday Night Live. He's supposed to be on there Saturday night. And instead of him saying, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, he was like, well, what do you guys think I should do? What do you think would be funny? He was asking their opinion. This is the richest guy in the world, and some guy on the street he treats as if they're his best friend, because he has that empathy for human beings. And I know his background. I know as a child he was bullied really bad, and he was beat up so bad one time when he was, I think, 8 or 9 years old. He had to go to the hospital. They beat him so bad. So he's had some tough times, but he's built an empathy for mankind that I really respect. I really do. Wouldn't it be better to use the word results instead of failure? Yeah, because here's the truth about failure, and that's really cool that you said that. Maybe I'll switch that. Failure does not exist unless you quit. Failure doesn't exist. Maybe things didn't work out the way you wanted. So if I run an ad and it's not profitable, but I've sold some stuff, is that a failure? Or is that data? I figured out what audiences don't work, what a webinar doesn't work, what ad didn't work, whatever. It's not a failure. It's only a failure if I quit. That's the only time it's a failure. So let's move to number 5. Number 5, this is a big one. This is a hard one. This is one that people just have a really hard time with in relationships. Give more than you take. Give more than you take. The person that you deal with, the person that goes away after they've had an interaction with you, do they feel better about themselves, or do they feel worse about themselves? Have you made somebody feel better? My friend I'm going to lunch with today, him and his wife are the kindest people, and we go out to dinner with them all the time. And they're always interested in what we're doing. They're always interested in the house we're building. They're always interested in our business, our pets, whatever. They give of their attitude and time to other people, and that's what makes them great people. And in relationships, guys, this is a big one. If you're in a relationship, there's always that, well, I did this and she didn't do that, or I did this and he didn't do that. You can't do that. What you got to do is assume that you're going to give more than the other person. It's not 50-50. It's not 50-50. It's probably 70-30. And here's the funny thing. You both feel that way. You both feel that way. There's not the person going, oh, I got 30 and they're giving 70. Rarely does somebody feel like, they're getting more back out of relationships. So since they don't feel that way, you've got to go the extra mile to do extra things for somebody if you really care about them. And it's not like, well, it shouldn't be that way. It should be 50-50. No, it shouldn't. Because what is 50-50? How do you divide 50-50? You don't. So if you give more in that relationship than you take, and you accept that you're going to have to do that, and you do that every day, that person's going to really care about you. I mean, they really are, unless they're just a horrible human being, and then you got to get away. But if you know, gratitude is really a natural magnet. If you're giving a whole lot, you're going to get a lot. Greed is also a natural magnet too. If you're very greedy, you're going to attract very greedy people. The average man seeks what he can receive from the world. The extraordinary man seeks what he can give to the world. Okay, so what can you give? What can you do? I believe that living your best really means helping people out more than you expect help back from them. Just because you help somebody, don't expect that they owe you. They don't owe you. Okay, nobody owes you. Nobody in the world owes you anything. You owe other people. And if you go around with that attitude, you'll get plenty of what you want. You will. You just will. So next one I have is number 6. Cut out the bad apples. Number 6, cut out the bad apples. I believe in surrounding myself with good people with positive energy. If I get in contact with somebody who has negative energy, who talks poorly about other people, who's lazy, who doesn't work hard, who complains, who blames other people, I just cut them off. I mean, they could be a nice person, but I don't want them in my life. I don't want to be around a person that when I get away from them, I feel exhausted. And I know people like that. I have family members like that, that once you talk to them, you're just like, oh my God, so negative, so ridiculous. Okay. And I don't want to be around those people. You know, a broken culture leads to low morale and poor performance. Every single person I deal with, I'm kind of judging, you know, are they giving or are they just taking person? And those giving people, like, you know, I have several people that work for me that are really giving people. They're nice people. They try hard. They try to do their best. And if you're around people like that, it's so much better. Nothing is worse than negative, selfish, entitled people in your life. They will spoil you. They will spoil you. It takes strength and courage to eliminate these bad apples. I get it. It does. But it's necessary if you want to unleash what your potential is. You can't be dragged down by these people. There's no such thing as happy hour. Happy hour doesn't exist. I bartended all through college, and I bartended at happy hours. And most of those people were not happy. They were there to escape their wife, their kids, their boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it was. They were there to escape and anesthetize themselves, right? That's all they were doing. Those people are dead weight bricks. Cut the dead weight bricks out of your life and watch your life get better. It just will, if you don't hear all this negative stuff. All right, on to my next one here, which is my last one. Okay, choose light over dark. How do you do that? Okay, so there's this battle in each of us every single day. We all have the battle. Okay, don't succumb to anger, greed, sloth, jealousy, hatred, revenge, arrogance, entitlement, or any other form of negative energy. They are all inherently in us. You know, it's inherently in us to be lazy. It's inherently in us to be lazy. Now, let me tell you why I say that. Because your mind is there to protect you from pain. Okay, protect you from pain. So what's pain? Well, exercise is pain. Is pain good for you? Yeah, it can be if it's exercise. But do people want to exercise? No, they don't want to exercise. Why? Because it's painful. And your mind says, no, don't go do that. That's going to be hard for you. That's going to be difficult. You need to sit here on the couch where it's nice and comfortable. You need to do stuff you want to do. Is work painful? Yes. You know, is it painful for me to get up every morning, come in here, have a subject for you guys, and to work? Yes, it's painful, but it's necessary and it's good. It's good things, okay? So I'm choosing light over dark, even though that choice is difficult. Don't expect to go do something once you feel motivated. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. What you have to do is go do things that are difficult, and then you'll feel the motivation. Motivation comes after success. It doesn't come before success. It never has. It never will. Anybody who's successful is going to tell you, I had to battle with doing stuff I didn't want to do. You need to choose positive energy. You need to choose gratitude. I have a gratitude app on my phone. Every morning it sends me a message and it talks to me and it tells me stuff, okay? And I need that. Everybody needs that, okay? Um, things like humility. I watched Elon Musk talk to those people, and he was humble to all those people. He was nice to all those people. He wasn't, I'm the biggest guy in the world, I'm the richest guy in the world. It wasn't like that. He was on the sidewalk talking to people, and they were yelling out questions, and he would answer them. He would do what he had to do to make those people happy. Choose patience. Patience is a tough thing to choose. I don't want to be patient. Nobody wants to be patient, right? Choose courage. Courage to do the right things, right? When you don't want to do the right thing. Choose happiness. What? Aren't I just supposed to be happy? No, you got to choose it. You got to say, I'm choosing to be happy today. I'm going to smile, right? I'm going to smile when I don't feel like smiling, and then maybe I'll feel happy. That's how that works. I'm going to help other people out, and that's where happiness is going to come from. You're not going to just sit on the couch and go, oh, finally I'm happy. It's not going to work that way. Get rid of these whiners, doubters, naysayers, people around you. You gotta just choose the positive stuff. You really do. Do your best to choose all these positive things. Now, it doesn't mean that we must live, like every day is like light of the world, because that's kind of weird. But you got to try to add your positive energy to things. It would be impossible to always be happy and uplifted, but it's not impossible to always try to feel that way. Now, I do my best every day to choose positive things. I don't always succeed. And that's the last thing I'm going to tell you is you're not going to always succeed at this stuff. You've got this list of things. I just gave you 7 things you can work on. But this list of things is so important, guys. It's taken me years and years and years to figure this out. And they may sound really simple to you, but they're very difficult to do every day. James says, gee, I'm surprised you didn't include having a burning desire is an important ingredient for success. No, it's not. Everybody says, just go do what you're passionate about. Be passionate. And a lot of people sit back and go, I'm not really passionate about anything. No, that's the funny thing. You got to do things and then you'll find your passion. And I think that's what James is saying. You've got Honest Abe said people are just as happy as they choose to be. That's very, very true. I mean, James is a wise guy. He knows a lot of this stuff. And it's funny, as you get older, James was a 10-year-old boy. I was a 10-year-old boy. What we knew then and what we know now are vastly different. Vastly different. And guys, if you choose all these positive things, man, you're going to have some positive results. I hope you wrote these down. And if you didn't, this is recorded. You can go back and you can list all these things again. And you can look at them all over again. Do me a favor, if you haven't done so, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you ring the bell. Ring the bell, turn on all bell notifications. I'll tell you, it's not always easy to get up and do videos and to get the word out to people when you don't know who's going to listen and who's not. Now, I've got some great supporters that show up every day and listen to me, but it's when you don't have a lot of views and a lot of that stuff and you continue on is when you get a lot of views. So if you're doing a YouTube channel, guys, and I'm speaking from experience, I've got videos that have over 100,000 views and I've got videos that's got 5, okay? They're not all successful, but I'll never get to those 100,000 view ones. I'll never get to that almost 5,000 subscribers I have now without putting in a tremendous amount of effort. When things don't look good, when I'm not getting views, when I'm not getting thumbs up, when I'm not getting subscribers, that's when you need to work. And if you could work through those times, the times where you're reaching something, like now I've finally reached something and I'm making money every month off this channel, and I think that's pretty cool. But believe me, many videos I put up, nobody watched. And that's the way it's going to be, guys. In life, many of your efforts are going to be unpaid for efforts, okay? People have a hard time going, well, I want to do this, but I want results. Well, you're always going to get results. It just may not be what you want. It may not be what you want. I haven't done happy hour in almost 55 years. Yeah, isn't that the truth? I did them, but I was the bartender behind the bar and I saw what was really going on. Cameron, where have you been, my friend? Cameron just popped in. Now I can design banners and visiting cards through Adobe Photoshop. Good for you, man. Cameron is in Pakistan, if I remember correctly, and I think you're 12. You can correct me if you want, but he's making money online. A lot of grown-ups are going, oh, you can't make money online. Well, a guy in Pakistan who's a kid can, and I don't consider him a kid. I consider him a man if he's out there making money and doing the things he's supposed to do. That's what makes you a man. I hear people say, and I want to end it with this, I know I'm a good dad because I feed my kids and I put a roof over their head and, I don't have to do these other things because I'm doing those. No, those are the things you're supposed to do. You don't get credit for feeding your kids or putting a roof over their head. There's no credit for that. That's expected. When you have kids, that's what you're supposed to do, okay? So we're not going to give you credit for that, okay? You don't get credit for things that are expected out of you. Because, well, I don't steal and I go to work every day. Well, you're supposed to not steal and go to work every day. That's how that works, okay? Don't expect credit for things that are obligations. Don't do that. Don't do that, okay? Don't even expect credit for anything. Just do stuff, okay? Quit the expecting credit. Just because you only got a few views doesn't mean it isn't a video with great content. Oh, thank you so much, James. And you know the cool thing is when I do one of these, and maybe I don't get enough views at the moment, but you know, a day later I've got 100, 200, 300, thousands. And if you look through my videos, you'll see many videos with thousands and thousands of views. I never know who's going to see this afterwards. I never know who it's going to affect afterwards. And I'm trying to share things I've learned along the way with you guys. That's all I'm trying to do. Not trying to sell you anything, but I will tell you this. A certain portion of people buy stuff from me because they do stumble on one of my videos. And I don't need many people. I don't need a lot of people to buy my stuff to really pay my bills. I don't need a lot of money for my bills. I mean, I'm in a pretty good position in life now. And I like that. I like being in a good position, and I'll never quit working. As long as I can talk and look at this camera right here, I can work. I got my, let's see here, Cameron and engineer. Oh my goodness. Actually, my cousin who helped me is an online freelancer and engineer. I remember you talking about that. Yeah, that's very cool. That's very cool, Cameron. And I love having you here, buddy. It really honors me that you show up and listen, that you're learning, that you're doing something with your life. So I'm off to this Mexican restaurant, guys. It's going to be amazing. Why? Because I've been going there for 34 years, and I know it's always amazing. And I think there's nothing on the menu over $5. Most things are $2 or $3. So it's hard to spend 20 bucks there. We're going to get a tray of a variety of things and probably share it. Cameron says how to get clients on Upwork. Yeah, I have a video on that, Cameron. Actually, if you go to my channel and you type in freelancing or Upwork, you're going to find a video on that, but I will do some training on that too. James Breen says, if you only impact one life, isn't it rewarding? It really is, man. And I do hear from people who, you know, got results and they did things and they made money or they changed their way of thinking. And man, what an honor to be able to do that. What an honor to be able to do a video and talk to people. And YouTube lets me do a video on their platform for free and then pays me for ads. I mean, I'm blown away by that. And I was looking at my ad revenue yesterday, and you have a thing called RPM, which is how much you get paid per 1,000 views. A good RPM is $3 to $5. So for every 1,000 views, you get $3 to $5. I looked at my RPM, and mine was $24.52. My RPM was $24.52. My wife's is great. Hers at $7 to $8, I think it was. We checked. She's doing phenomenal. And I looked at mine, it was $24.52. I have no idea why advertisers want to pay so much to be on this channel, but I think it's great. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Peace and blessings always, everyone. See you tomorrow. Thank you so much, James. Yeah, I'm going to get out of here too. Let me switch to my other screen, which is right here, and that has all my controls on it. I was on my notes screen. So yeah, so I'm going to go fill out the shirt today, right? Then I'm going to have to work out more. I got to skip my workout today, and then after lunch today, I got to drive up to Escondido. I got to eat my other shot, my COVID shot. So hopefully that's not going to make me sick. I know a lot of people get very sick on their second shot. My friend that I'm going with today is 86, and he got his second shot, and he didn't get sick, and he's got terminal cancer. So there you go. So maybe I won't get sick. You guys have a great day. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow.